What's up everyone, this is MrKingLiam here, and today, as you can see, I bring into another one of my deck profiles, and this time it is an archetype which I've been planning to build for many years, but I never got around to it, and it is the Six Samurai archetype. Now, the first time I discovered Six Samurais was quite a number of years ago. I always thought the archetype itself was quite an interesting one, but I was always occupied with a couple of other deck profiles, so I never actually got around to it. Well, fast forward quite a few years later, and I finally built a Six Samurai deck profile, and I'm quite happy with the way it turns out. So I'm gonna quickly go through the deck profile, show you what I put in, why I've put it in, and show you what I've got. So first off, we're running one Grandmaster of the Six Samurai. Some Six Samurai players run multiple copies of these. I usually end up only needing one of these, because most of the time I'm trying to get a Synchro or an Exceed out. Obviously that might change in the future with the link summoning mechanic, so Grandmaster might be more playable in the future. But yeah, at the moment I'm running one. It doesn't really need too much explaining, so basically you can just quickly special summon it when another Six Samurai is out. So basically you might be able to go for a couple of Synchro combinations using this card. Next up we have Legendary Six Samurai Kizon, pretty much the main monster in the deck. So basically if you control a Six Samurai monster other than Kizon, you can special summon this card from your hand. While you control two or more other face Six Samurais, this card gains 300 attack and defense. Most of the time you probably won't be using the second effect because you'll be using Kizon for an effect. So you'll probably be using Kizon for a Synchro summoning or an Exceed summon. And yeah, so Kizon is definitely one of the key cards in the deck. Next up, we're running one Six Samurai Iru. This is more to do with asceticism of the six, which I'll get to a bit later. But it doesn't have too bad an effect as well. So if this card attacked a face-down defense position monster, destroy that monster immediately with this card effect without flipping. So this also could be a good side card as well if your opponent is playing some defensive cards such as Spirit. I think Spirit Reaper is still used today, so Iru might be a way to counter that, and also could be a way to get rid of some random cards as well. Next up, we have one Legendary Six Samurai Inishi. This is like I said to do with Iru playing one of these. This effect is if you control another face Six Samurai monster with a different name. Most of the time, probably be Iru. You can remove from play two Six Samurai monsters from your graveyard to select one monster, face-up monster on the field, and return to the hand. So it can be a quick way also to clear the field of a problematic card as well. Next up, we have Hand of the Six Samurai. I'm not running. Well, some people run 3 of these. I feel 2 is a good amount because basically, if you control, it's just basically a way to clear the field if needed. So if you control another Six Samurai monster, you contribute one Six Samurai monster to select one monster on the field and destroy it. So it can be a quick way to help clear some problematic cards. I feel 3 is a little bit overboard. I think 2 is the right amount. Next up, we have Six Samurai Yachi. This is another one of the tech cards, just basically to clear some problematic cards on the field. I don't go for Yachi too much, but I reckon it's definitely a good side card to have because obviously if your opponent has spells or traps, that can cause problems. So there's a no-brainer. I'm also running one Spirit of the Six Samurai. This one I don't go for too much, but it's just a nice option to have just in case I need a little bit of an attack boost or need a little bit of boost for the Six Samurais in general. So basically, once per turn you can equip this card to a face Six Samurai monster you control, or unequip it, and special summon it in face up attack position. So this could also be used for Synchro material as well, which is quite useful. When equipped to a monster by this effect, that monster gains 500 attack and defense. When this equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can draw 1 card, so it's another draw engine. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed, destroy this card instead. So it acts as a little bit of an attack boost, a draw engine, and also as a protection card. So that's not a bad thing to have, just in case, say, you've got an extra deck, Six Samurai. Next up, 2 Elder of the 6. Some people run 3. I find 2 is the right amount. So if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can special summon this card. So basically, most of the time the combo is you bring this out and bring out maybe a rank 3 or Kagemusha. But I'll explain the combo in a minute. Speaking of which, we have legendary Six Samurai Kigeki. This is definitely another one you probably want to run 3 of. So when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Six Samurai monster from the hand. So most of the time that would probably be... Most of the time, if you had Kiilstofte and another level 4, you'd probably bring out the level 4. Then you can bring out Kiilstofte, and then you could go for your extra deck plays. So yeah, Kigeki is definitely one of the best Six Samurai. Also, it has a second effect in the form of you can special summon. While you control another face Six Samurai monster with a different name, this card gains 1500 attack. So it can also become a 1700, which yet again works with asceticism. Our final Six Samurai is Kagemusha. Doesn't really need much explaining. The tuner of the deck. And yeah, so basically, most of the time the combo is you use Kigeki and bring out Kagemusha and go for a rank 5. So level 5. So that would be the combo most times. And finally, just as 2 tech cards, we're running 1 Maxi and 1 Fact Veiler. For our spells, we're running 1 Reinforcements of the Army. Doesn't really need much explaining. A lot of warriors in the deck. 3 Shiin Smoke Signal. Most of the time, probably want to get Kigeki or Elder of the Six Samurai into your hand as quickly as possible, so you go for your plays. Then we have probably the main spell card of the deck, Asceticism of the Six Samurai. So basically, I keep saying basically a lot. Yeah, I need to get out of that. So this card allows you to select 1 face-up Six Samurai monster you control, special summon another Six Samurai monster with a different name but same attack. So most of the time you would probably go for, if you look at the stats, most of the time would either be using Elder of the Six and Kagemusha together, or it would be Iru and Nanishi, or it would be 2 Kiilstoftes. So that would be the combo with asceticism. But yeah, this is definitely a very good way to get your extra deck summons and play a couple of cards as well. Twin Twisters, staple. It's basically a staple in every deck. I usually run 2 in each deck now. Shiin's Dojo. Obviously the Six Samurai players don't have access to Gateway of the Six anymore. That would have been very useful in this deck, because it's overall probably one of the most powerful spell cards ever made, I think, which is it's been banned for ages. So each time a Six Samurai monster is normal or special summoned, you can place 1 Bushido counter, and you can send this face-up card to the graveyard to special summon 1 Six Samurai or Shiin effect monster from your deck whose level is equal. So if you have, say, 2, you could go for Kagemusha. 3, obviously, Kiilstofte. 4, Kigeki for 3, and Kiilstofte for 4. So it does take a little bit of time, but obviously... Sorry. I'm just realizing I'm saying a lot of these things. I need to get out of this habit. I'll try and make sure I do that for future videos. So yes, Shiin's Dojo. So I lost my train of thought. Oh well. So yes, Shiin's Dojo. So it can definitely help you get out your plays a lot quicker, which definitely helps. And the final spell card we're running is Six Samurai United. So each time a Six Samurai monster is normal summoned or special summoned, you can place 1 Bushido counter on this. However, you can only have 2. So most of the time you probably want to have a Shiin's Dojo and a Six Samurai United. This one for special summoning. Six Samurai United. When it's so basically, so you can have 2 counters on this card, and you can send this card to the graveyard to draw 1 card for each Bushido counter. So it can act also as a little bit of a draw engine as well, which is very useful. Now we get to our traps. I'm running 1 double-edged sword technique. This is a little bit of a way to get some extra summoning power just in case later in the game. So you bring 2 Six Samurai monsters in the graveyard, special summon the targets in face-up attack, but they're destroyed during the end phase, and you take damage equal to the attack of the monsters, but most of the time you'll be going for an Exceed or Synchro anyway. And then next up we have Magatama. I'm not going to pronounce the first name. Activate if you only control 6 Samurai monster. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, that will destroy a card. Negate the activation and destroy. So it's basically a negation trap. And our final 3 traps: compulsory evacuation device, Solemn Strike, and Solemn Warning. Now we get to the extra deck. Now in the future this will probably change up due to link summoning, but this is how things line up at the moment. Actually, in my defense, I don't normally have 2 or more extra deck monsters in the 6 Samurai deck, but these are here just to give me plenty of options. So first off, for our level 8s, we are running a Scrap Dragon, a Stardust Spark Dragon. So these are 2 level 8s. For our level 7, we have Clear Wing Synchro Dragon and Black Rose Dragon, along with for our level 6, we have Naturia Barkion. And for our level 5s, this is probably overall what I go for the most because of the Kageki Kagemusha combo. We have Legendary 6 Samurai Xian, Naturia Beast, and Allied Justice Catastor. Most of the time, probably going for Xian just as an opening play, because basically this is a really good card in the deck. So when your opponent activates a spell trap card, you can negate the activation if you destroy it. If this card will be destroyed, you can destroy another phase 6 Samurai instead. So yes, this is definitely a good card in the 6 Samurais. And now finally we get to our Exceeds. We have it's just mostly rank 4s with a couple rank 3s. We have Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon, Shadow of the 6 Samurai Xian. Now this one, during other players' turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from the card to target 1 phase 6 Samurai with less than 2000. Its original attack becomes 2000 until the end of the turn. I don't often go for this one, Xian. So yeah, I don't often go for Shadow of the 6 Samurai, but it can act a little bit just in case I need to wrap up a game or something. We're also running number 101 Tunnel on the Arc, Heroic Champion Excalibur, and Maestro the Symphony Jin. Now there is one big question: why am I not running? What's the Musketeer card? Castell. There we go. Why am I not running Castell? I have tested Castell in this deck, but I've actually found that most of the time I'm going for Synchros anyway, and in the situations which I've needed an Exceed, these ones have proved fairly useful. So that's probably why, I'd suspect. And for our rank 3s, we've got number 17 and 1 of Zen mains. So there we have our 6 Samurai deck profile for March 2017. More than likely, I will probably be updating this for the link summoning when it comes out, but I'm quite happy with what I've come up with. And this is I'd say this is a fairly budget deck profile. There's 1 or 2 cards which probably are a bit expensive. If I were to say what the most expensive cards were, I'd say Kizan is not the easiest common or super rare to find. Ascension of the 6 Samurai is definitely getting hard to find, so that one isn't too easy to get. But I'd say the most probably the priciest card at the moment in Six Samurais is probably Legendary Six Samurai Shien, because it's only had 2 reprints. The first one being in its original pack, which is, I can't remember. It was one of the last 5Ds packs, and it also got a reprint in the Raw Yellow Mega Pack Special Edition, which I actually opened a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that's probably the most difficult card to get, I reckon, for the Six Samurais. But overall, this is a fairly budget deck profile, and never know. Never know, one day Gateway the 6 might come off the ban. No, that probably won't happen if I'm honest. Gateway, I reckon Gateway might be one of those cards that never comes off the ban list. So anyway, there was a Six Samurai deck profile. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel to know when my newest content is coming out. Also, be free to leave some suggestions down in the comments below for future deck profile ideas. I'll probably be doing 2 or 3 more deck profiles before the new Link summoning mechanic gets introduced, and then we might take a couple weeks off just for me to get used to running the new Link mechanic. Also, be free to leave feedback on what you think of the deck profile, as in like what you'd change, like what you'd add, what would you do differently, things like that. I'm open to some feedback. And I guess all I can say now is, for now, this is MrKingLiam signing out.